Howdy. Good to get a win. Always is. You can't ever take winning for granted. You have to go out and prepare and play, and it's. I think our team did a good job. Last week, the preparation was a little bit different. Getting a few people in the lineup, but it feels a lot better walking in here after that win. And now with a short week, we gotta go to work. So I'm gonna take questions so I can go back to work.
All right, questions for Coach. Start on the right side, Gabe.
How good was it to see Miles and really have that burst back and that energy level up? And what does that mean moving into Thursday?
Well, certainly it was good. Miles is a leader. He's a quiet leader. He's not real vocal, but when he's on the field, his play speaks for itself. And having that chemistry was important for us. And like I said, I think he's healthier now than he was. Since the Arkansas game, and just a lot of credit to him. Obviously, the thing that you have to understand is that there's a difference in injuries and there's a difference in pain. And he certainly was injured, but it got to the point to where he could play, but it was with pain, and that's not easy. That's not easy, but he did it, and he did a great job of it. And I think he's close to 100%, and we're all excited about that.
On the far left side, Cease.
When you look at those two LSU running backs, their skill set, what makes them different than other running backs in your estimate?
Well, we've seen really good running backs, and again, these two guys are special, both of them. The fact that they've got two where they can keep them fresh all the time, but both of them are special. They have great speed. They're very explosive, and they're very physical. There's a lot of guys. Well, not a lot of guys, but there are guys that are fast, but they don't like contact. These guys don't mind contact, and they don't mind running through you or over you, and they're capable of doing that. I think that that's the thing that sets any good back, apart from a logjam of having backs. And both of these guys are special from a talent standpoint, and they've played that way.
Right up front, Sam.
What kind of domino effect does a healthy Miles have on the rest of that front seven?
Well, again, like I said, the fact that he's in there and he's competing, obviously, you got, I consider, one of the best, if not the best defensive player in the country. That says enough. When you got that guy out there and he's competing, it means a lot to you, to your football team. I think you got a couple shots of it Saturday. A couple plays that we got hurt on early in the year when he was not in there. They tried it once, they tried it twice, and it was a difference.
And when Leonard Fournette first got to LSU, what was your first impression of him as a youngster when you guys went up against him?
Well, obviously everybody knew how talented he was, and being around him, he's an outstanding young man. He's worked hard for everything he's got. He's been blessed. The good Lord has blessed him with a lot of talent. I don't think he's taken it for granted. He was a worker, and I'm sure he's continued to do that during the last 2 years.
Up front on the left side, Zach.
Coach, talking a little bit about Miles coming back from injury, how good was it to have Priest Willis out there at corner last game, and where do you feel like he's at in his progression back?
Well, he's a little bit farther along. We felt like it was important to get him some work. It's been a long time since he's played, and we didn't want to overwork him in the game last week, but we felt like it was important for us to have him out there at certain times, and it was important for him. Not to wait and come back on Thursday. So, again, it was good to get him some work, and he continues to get better every day.
On the right side, Ben.
Coach, what do you think a nine-win season would say about this team more than a 8-win season could?
It's about winning. We all know that. I mean, geez, you can't run from it. And certainly, 9. That's 10% better than 8 at least. So if you want to put it in those terms, then it's 10% better. But you want to win them all, and unfortunately, not everybody's going to do that every year, but you also want to see these seniors go out in Cal Field. I think that's important. And I think Coach Sumlin has done a great job of putting the squad together, recruiting. All those things are affected in some way. Not with every young man, but in some way, all those things are affected. But Coach Sumlin's done a great job of putting the squad together. And certainly there's a good foundation here, and certainly a ninth win would be very important to that as well.
Standing in the back, Daryl.
Coach, LSU's defense has been pretty salty this year. They haven't given up more than 21 points, I think, in a game. Does that affect anything that you do in your approach to the game, knowing that, there may not be a lot of scoring on the other side?
Well, not necessarily. I mean, obviously we got a big task at hand. When you start talking about the backs, you start looking at the receivers that they have, and they got a quarterback that's playing well for them with the things that they're asking him to do. The objective is to go out and stop them, and we got to do that, and we got to try to control the field position as much as we can defensively, and that's not any different in any game you play. You don't want to have to give our offense, not that they're not capable, they are, but you don't want to have to give them a long field. We work hard, and field position is important for us defensively because we feel like we're setting up the offense. And certainly, when you're playing great defense, then your offense is going to have more opportunities, and that's what we need to do. And there's been times, to be quite honest with you, this, we hadn't done that. So we got to, it's important that we play as well as we can play this week, and that's what we're looking for, and that's what we're practicing toward, and hopefully we'll put together a good plan, and we're looking forward to playing on Thursday.
Left side, second row, Cease.
What's the best running backs you've ever had to defend?
Oh, geez. I mean, seriously, you go a long ways. I mean, yeah. I mean, even in practice, way back at Tennessee, when you had Cobb and Webb, defending those guys in practice, 2 or 3 Heisman Trophy winners. When we played Ohio State in '95 may have been the best offensive team I've ever been on the field against. I mean, they were really, really great. So, it's not unusual. I mean, that's when you're playing in this league, you're going to have to defend some great talent because, you don't play in this league without great talent and win. That's just a fact.
Right up front, right side, Sam.
Anything drastically different that you see from them offensively since they've made some changes?
I wouldn't say drastic. You can't go 4 games in a season and completely change everything. I mean, you got a system in. You may tweak it, here and there, but and you may make it look a little different, but you can't get that far away. I mean, there's not time, to do that, and certainly, if anything, I think they're taking more shots down the field. In terms of utilizing their receivers because they've got great skill there. You look at the 3 receivers, their top 3 receivers. They're all tall guys. They're all fast guys. They're all capable of making big plays. And you even look at on the other side of the ball, you look at Florida last week, and certainly them winning the game and getting the goal line stop was big, but. Had they not thrown a 98-yard pass, to a receiver that made a play and broke a tackle and went to distance, those guys are effective, and I think they've done a better job of getting the ball to them down the field.
We'll go to Ben and then Gabe.
Just out of curiosity, what's running through your mind when you get asked about defenses that you used to coach?
Texas A&M and our defense and my defense, and one of these days we'll be able to say it's our defense when we're playing up to that standard. But my concern is with my defense right now.
Right side.
And let me say, not concerned. That's my focus. That's my focus, not concern.
Gabe.
We've seen more of Richard Moore as the season, especially here down the stretch. How is he progressing, and how important could he be in a game where maybe you feel like you got to run more 4-3 than normal?
Well, big, and you look at the last half of last season, Richard played really well. Had some injuries in the off season. Not a lot, couldn't go through spring practice. But Richard's a talented guy with great instincts, and for two reasons, you've seen more of him. Number one, he's playing well when he gets the opportunity, but it's also keeping you from playing someone else. 75 reps, and there's not a big separation there. So, and it's something I had to do as the season went on. A better job of getting those guys in there, and hopefully we'll continue to do that.
We'll go to Daryl in the back, and then Olin will wrap us up.
Coach, your guys talked about getting the win for you against Tennessee earlier this year. Have they said anything about wanting to get a win for you against LSU Thursday?
We don't ever talk about that. I mean, that's not something we talk about. And truly, and this is not just a coach's statement. I mean, this is about Texas A&M, and if they say that, that's fine. But we want to play for Texas A&M. We want to play for this family, and we want to work for this family. And it's a great university, but I don't think that's a factor.
Olin here in the middle, you wrap us up.
John, it sure seems like from our standpoint that Zay Colvin Henderson's playing really well. I wonder what your thoughts are about just the overall performance of the interior defensive line at this time.
Well, I talked about that a couple of weeks ago. It's better. It's better because we're stronger. It's better because we're bigger. I mean, we've made improvements in the weight room. Sean Washington's playing better because he's stronger. We continue to improve in that area, and that's what we got to do. But what our guys are getting done inside, are we there completely? We still got some improving to do, but they're playing much better, and I'm excited to see it. If you're going to be a good run defense, then obviously it starts there. And again, we got to continue to do the things that Coach Sumlin has put in place in the off season. And again, I think it's been a big effect already this year, and then we got to continue to recruit.
All right. Thank you for your time.